Hello and welcome to part 2 of How I Do the Equestrian Liberation Front. Before we continue, I need to mention a few things. 1. I did say this is mostly about gameplay, but in this case some of the story is intertwined, so spoilers warning. 2. There was an unfortunate bug I encountered this run where uniting the Y-axe under the J-axe still leaves the option to unite under the Y-axe. The AI will select this option due to the fact that it costs no political power. This wouldn't be an issue except for the fact that the Y-axe are completely independent. And no, uniting the land under the Y-axe first doesn't help, as due to going independent, the option to then unite under the J-axe is locked out. So my solution was simply to start justifying on the Y-axe and fix whatever the AI does with the console. Sorry. 3. You might be wondering, why don't I start the rebellion now instead of letting them build up while I'm doing the protectorate? And you'd be completely justified in thinking this, but this is about how I like to do the ELF, not the best way to do the ELF, though I hope you still get some ideas from it, be it for roleplay or strategy. Now, I won't activate self-destruct, but I will send the military on a long vacation. Research excavation, so maybe Chrissy will buy some more of my resources. Finished building stuff I couldn't before. I'll get the factories eventually. Start producing equipment the ELF will steal later, especially support equipment and anti-tank. Prioritize negotiating the love tax to get your factories back. Increasing collaboration will boost construction, but it's not as important. And while we still have political power, get partial mob. The EX have been dealt with, but that is just ugly, so there. Love tax is done, and we've now got a whole 5 factories. More steel in the future will be nice. Now to just wait for the ELF to spawn. If I wanted to build more, I can just put down some of the rebellions until I'm ready. Okay, liberation time. First things first, delete all these orders. Extensive conscription, army defense. Just build an agency, can't afford to upgrade it, but one spy as counterintelligence can still help. Research maintenance companies, highly important, and personal AT. We'll be down on AT artillery for a while. Construction, get rid of this junk, and just focus entirely on repairing. Check back once in a while to reprioritize repairs, especially for anti-air guns. Industry, only support equipment for now. We don't need any of these extra templates, and give the Antovs AA. Now, one trick here is to recruit a lot of divisions. When the changelings take my land, I can cancel this and get all the pony power back. It's not necessary, and I also wouldn't call it broken in this case, since you are limited to how many divisions you can recruit, along with how fast your pony power pool can fill up. Now, let's actually capitulate the Protectorate first before reorganizing the army. The Pegasi split between General Price and Trixie under Field Marshal Starlight. This is for roleplay reasons, as later on the Pegasi will be the most important thing in the second stage. The rest go to Field Marshal Purple Dart, mainly because of his scavenger trait. Then send all of them to the fort line. Focus tree. I want to prioritize the ones that give troops, so first, Liberatory Crusade as they spawn a bit farther, so I want to get them out before they get encircled. Followed by Everfree, Cadres, Enlist, and Diaspora. Flying columns can wait a bit until I get some gun production bonuses. We're gonna lose entrenchment quite often, so charismatic is more important for now. Everfree gives 8 motorized. I'm converting 6 of them into tanks and placing them on this port, here, and here. The reason is, I need someone to deal with the naval invasions, and tanks are fast while also having armor. Why not infantry? Well, while for now we're short on light tanks, eventually once we gain maintenance companies we'll start gaining an excess, and this way also ensures most of the infantry equipment will go to the main line. Also, naval invasions aren't as frequent, so in what little combat they should see, their armor should be quite effective while not draining my very limited fuel. The last 2 I made Pegasi since I want Price to keep his Timberwolves, but I also like he and Trixie to have equal division count. Okay, they've taken most of my land, so the recruitment can be cancelled, leaving me with 300k pony power. Let's also draw a proper front now and maybe get some planning bonus. Cadre's done, get those volunteers out immediately. Things really heated up at this point, so this is what I want to really emphasize. See this? Looks okay, right? It does until you realize half of them are almost out of organization and the enemy is not taking a break right now. So the important thing is to take troops from somewhere not under attack or less heavily attacked as they can afford to have a bit less and rotate them with routing divisions. Farther away, the sooner you should start. This was way too close for comfort. And hold shift to micromanage them in a way that they won't get caught in a different battle. One additional trick you can use, and not just here, is take a routing division and have it walk around a bit, but not too far away so it can regain org and rejoin battle quickly. Of course, this is only if you have enough organization recovery bonus to outweigh organization loss from moving. Things will eventually calm down to the point where you don't need to micro as heavy. How long may depend on the playthrough, but in this case, this was 3 years since the war began. However, you still need those maintenance companies. Scavenger just doesn't give as much, and they're still attacking. If your supply starts to suffer, the AI will be comparatively strong enough to heat things up again. Only in that case, you won't survive. Your divisions not suffering too heavily from undersupply penalty is the only thing keeping them from ramming you on off-front. The moment the research is done, give them to everyone you can. Take out some recon if you need more support equipment. You can start making some budget guns as well. Since I didn't need to defend as hard anymore, I switched doctrines to mass mobilization. I do not want to go all adult serve as the ELF. I know it's been several years, but I still find it weird they can actually hold political positions. Supply is pretty good now, so let's prepare for second stage and make some nice Pegasi divisions. The line is strong enough that if they see combat now, it's additional XP into regular training. Also, if I'm remembering this right, it actually takes more equipment but less time to train them in the field. Also, give them hospitals. Now, if you've seen some guides on the 30 minutes of hell achievement from vanilla, this may look familiar to you. First, convert the main line back into a fallback order. Second, take the 2 Pegasi armies and draw a pincer like this. Note, whoever occupies this tile can't gain planning bonus due to spies apparently. Third, attack the first tile, but hit S to only order half the army into the second so the other half can guard the first. Fourth, fifth, delete orders, retreat, and repeat. You're not ready to make an actual push right now. The goal is to chip away the enemy. You can make this a bit more time efficient by using staff office plan to build planning bonus faster. Now, for a while, this might not look like it's making a dent, but remember, the line is short right now, so any enemy refuel you see are probably rush divisions. The attrition doesn't help either. Yet, they occasionally still believe attacking some spots will get through eventually.
Action! Unlike myself, the old neighborhood's still the same as you left it, bro. Hey, did I tell you? I'm mayor now, right, Ed? Hi!
Trixie.
See that loser? That's
Trixie.
He's the neighborhood dork. I have to slap him around every now and then just to remind him who's boss.
Eddie! Neighborhood dork, huh? Hey, Double Glade, you getting this?
He collects underwear and gives it to the poor. Pretty stupid, huh, bro? Help!
Now let's take all that stolen equipment and start making another Pegasi team. And give them the more veteran generals. The main line's primary job at this point is basically done for now. Wait for training to get done. And this here is just tasty. Okay, I've got only around 200k pony power left on both SBR and Mass Mobilization's Wave Offensive, so I felt this was the best time to start making an actual push. Now, I probably could, or should, have started this a lot sooner, but there's also something really amusing about a 15 million to 1 KD in a My Little Pony mod. Philadelphia is a pretty big city, so that's where we're going to encircle down towards. I also left 1 Pegasi army on this area since the line will be stretched and the enemy might gain some ideas. Now that there's more pony power and equipment, it's actually affordable now to convert some units into on-hooves. Either they're all green, or my forces are too good at attacking for this to be a problem at this point anymore. Don't need to be on SPR anymore. Regular forces can still make encirclements. Well, this was embarrassing. Don't even need front lines anymore. One of my personal preferences is, when I can help it, I generally keep infantry armies with consistent divisions. In this case, the unmodifiable volunteers to a second army group on the less dangerous front. I didn't do this sooner since I still needed Purple Dart Scavenger trait along with the skills of my generals back then. I do kinda wish there was an easier way to check for volunteers. Now is a good time to liberate Canterlot. And with that, we have the opportunity to rescue Twilight. Now, I don't know if this has been fixed or not, but if you don't take care of this before the war ends, you'll basically be locked out of the post-war focus trees, so get it done before actually invading the changing homeland. I was honestly surprised there was no event for this. The enemy is weak enough now that if I do one more knitting on their lines, it should be enough to launch one final grand offensive. Okay, one more. And with that, Changeling days were numbered. If you can't figure out where to finish Twilight's rescue, the Changelings might have also renamed a parody of an Alaskan city into a Latin word for beehive or beer company in Connecticut. Either way, we got our glorious purple bookworm back. And this is when I remembered why I capitulate the bears first. You probably won't need them at this point, but if you want my recommendations on which of the other main 6 you should get first, I guess I'd have to say Pinkie Pie, so they can keep organization up and not need to rest as often. Rainbow Dash. You probably won't see any combat heavy enough to cause serious damage anymore, so that's why she's number 2. Rarity. I guess if the North was independent, this might encourage them more to lend Lisiu, but if they ideologically don't like the Changelings, they might do that regardless of their opinion of you. Fluttershy. I never suffer from stability problems at this point, but I guess if you have problems, then I'm sorry, but this is completely useless in single player, and I've never done multiplayer, but is the ELF even remotely possible against a human changeling? And that is how I do to the ELF. Once again, I don't really consider this a guide, but I still hope you found it informative or entertaining. For the magic of friendship, goodbye.
Slow down! I was just kidding! Stop, please! Don't